Welcome everybody to round number 12 here at Richmond Raceway. This is the SJRL 200. I'm pretty excited for this one. It's more short track racing. Short tracks always provide great racing, but here we are, Richmond Raceway. I'm Josh Coppernell. I'm joined by Dawson Allen. How you doing, Dawson?
I'm doing pretty good tonight, Josh. It's going to be a fun one here at Richmond. It's a challenging track for sure. But to put these next-gen cars out here with some of these guys, it's really going to be a test to see how they can navigate this track safely and without any problems.
Yeah, talking about safely for sure, short track, wrong moves can collect a lot of people in an accident. And, you definitely also don't want to kill your tires. I think some drivers that you see maybe riding around about 5th, 6th-ish, they might come alive later on in a run. Definitely see it tonight. I'm pretty excited for this one.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one. And, I have always had a soft spot for Richmond. I love the track. It's one of those tracks that can provide some really fun racing. But it's just a matter of, getting the right things together, getting the right pieces together, put together a fun race. My Richmond story I have, one of the few instances of infamy I have at Richmond is a league race I did. I got turned in turn 4 and wound up with a blown engine on the front straightaway, parked, and I guess iRacing never got the caution, and I guess the off-track admins were watching elsewhere because they never threw a caution, and the leaders were right behind me, so the leaders just piled into me. And, I'll never live that one down, so I don't like Richmond for that reason. I will never drive an ARCA car at Richmond ever again, but for everything else, I love Richmond International Raceway. It is such a fun racetrack.
And I'm going to quickly bring up the schedule here. And if you look at the schedule, we've pretty much only visited larger tracks with the exception of the All-Star race at Bristol and way back race number 4 at Phoenix. A lot of bigger tracks, so definitely going to be a little bit more disciplined for a lot of these guys to switch that mentality from driving at faster speeds, really wide tracks, to now slowing it down a bit.
Yeah, it's for sure going to be a different discipline. And I feel like that's what we're going to see. We kind of saw it a little bit last week with the road course layout, with Watkins Glen being the thing. It's going to be a thing where you're going to kind of be shaken up a little bit because that one was, a lot of braking involved and a lot of, setting the truck up to be able to navigate properly. So that's what we could see here as well coming up for this race here tonight. It's all about setting things up and making sure everything is ready to go.
With that being said, we are closing in towards the end of practice, Dawson. Who are you going to make a case for? Who do you think is going to be the race winner tonight?
I'm starting to look at these practice charts. I'm starting to see who's put the most laps in and who's been able to put their fastest lap in the latest. I'm getting a really strong feeling about Zach Probst in the 62. You see, at first I was thinking somewhere else, but, Probst has improved his times. He's gotten faster and faster, and right now sitting 5th on the leaderboard. I think he'll be one to watch.
I absolutely love that you picked Probst here. Time and time again in several leagues that I've watched Probst. I've seen him be really, really fast at the short tracks. The short tracks seem to suit him the best. With that being said, as far as my pick, I've narrowed it down to two guys. Both these guys, I think, are really good short track racers, as well as one of them particularly being good pretty much anywhere you put him. Ben Lacey and Zach Amon. But you know what? I'm going to go with Lacey. Zach Amon, of course, at Phoenix, absolutely dominated Phoenix. Had late caution, not pull into his strategy. It worked in Lacey's strategy instead. Lacey, of course, had a spin and a win for that race at Phoenix. And Lacey, a couple of wins on the season already. Momentum has really shifted his direction. And that's the reason I'm picking Lacey over Amon. As you see, the two actually get into each other just to finish out practice here.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't pick two drivers. You got to pick one. So you have Ben Lacey as your pick. We'll have to see how these shake out. But we are ready to go for qualifying at Richmond. As it sits right now, we've got 21 cars that have put down a lap time. So we'll have to see if we got 21 starting here today.
And here is our first taker for qualifying, Jamie Blord.
Brett Bennett, Zach Probst also now out on track along with him.
34, Michael Thorpe Jr. going out onto the track as well, but Jamie Blord, first one to cross the line to start his time. Oh, loose. Spins it out on the backstretch.
Not what you want on your first lap. Brett Bennett, you see there, go through 3 and 4. Easy does it, easy as can be. Trying to make sure he can put a good lap time down. The first lap will be completed. A 22.984 puts him first for a split second. As right now, he is the fastest car on track. Jack Probst setting a 23.3236. He is now second fastest. We see some more drivers. Michael Amenti, Noah Mayuri, Michael Thorpe has set a lap time of 22.6 to improve to first on the board. Ben Lacey, Zach Amon out there, as you see, to the point now, Zach Amon, and Probst just, oh my goodness! Probst completes his qualifying time. He puts it P2 for now. He's just launched it. Having a little bit of fun, but I'd be scared to do that in these next-gen cars.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen a flip at Richmond before, but Zach Amon currently P1 still. 22.375 for that 54 machine.
Jonathan Canfield just put down the 7th fastest lap at 23.061. Ben Lacey is up to 7th now as they keep updating at 22.75. 22.58 for Michael Amenti. The big thing for Lacey, though, that was only his first lap, so his second lap he's looking to improve.
And he does improve. P2.
Well, Mayuri, Zachary Wareham going for their second lap as Bridger Olson looks to be on pit road. Might have had an incident to cost him his time as Mayuri crosses the stripe. Mayuri jumps to third fastest, but Zachary Wareham will jump him right back. And how about the pole sitter now? Ty Marasco has just taken the pole with a 22.334. There is a new man on the top, and that is Ty Marasco as the practice qualifying is winding down. Just a minute 50 to go. I see Brian Dees has put it 5th fastest that time. Right now, it looks like 2 drivers are out there on their second lap. Excuse me. I see right there the 14 of Christopher Bassinger completes his second lap. 22.496 puts him in the 6th position. But now Derek Paulson, currently the only driver on track, going for his first lap.
Derek Paulson riding that yellow line through 3 and 4. Paulson gonna go P10 to start off his qualifying run.
went back and looked. Bridger Olsen currently only 1 lap down. He only put 1 lap time down. It's because when he came off of the corner, coming into the second corner, turns 1 and 2 for that second lap, excuse me. But coming into that corner, he washed the track and went wide. So definitely look to just park it and not go for any more as Derek Paulson jumps to the 4th fastest time. But Bridger Olsen had his issue on his qualifying time, his second lap. So he will not be putting down another lap. He will be 9th as they stand right now. We got a couple more that have yet to even come out on track to qualify, and I don't think they will be with just 28 seconds left here in the qualifying session.
Yeah, there won't be enough time for anybody to go out there, get another complete lap down, especially after going and doing their warm-up lap. And, you know, it seems right now, 8 seconds left, Ty Marasco will be the pole winner. You know, kind of what's funny, though, is I'm looking at the guys at 2nd and 3rd, Dawson, and those are the 2 that I was really debating back and forth as to who was going to be my pick to win. So that's how it'll be. Ty Marasco will win the pole. And we'll go through our starting lineup here. There we go. Ty Marasco, P1. Zach Amon, P2. Ben Lacey will start 3rd. Derek Paulson in 4th. And Zachary Wareham will start 5th.
In the 6th position, you'll see Brian Dees. In row 4 finds Christopher Bassinger and Noah Maori. And then rounding out the top 10 is Bridger Olsen and Zach Probst. And then dropping on back to that second set of drivers that qualified. In 11th is Michael Thorpe. In 12th is Michael Amentis. So the row of Michaels there for row number 6. Back in row 7, it's the 38 of Jamie Plord and the 47 of Brett Bennett.
Starting in 15th is going to be Jonathan Canfield. 16th will be Blaine Sparling. Caleb Sheets at 17th. And here is where it starts to get confusing. As telemetry is showing one thing, grid is showing another. But,
yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes we get it different. I was going to say, you said that Caleb Sheets was showing up as 17th. For me, he is showing up as 19th. But I do see 2 drivers did not grid. The 15 of Max Swearingen and the 88 of Gavin Austin did not grid. So not sure if they just missed the grid or if they just didn't show to the grid here for this race. They did not put a qualifying lap time down. So it would not shock me if they did not have a qualifying attempt because they were not going to attempt this race. But 2 drivers not on the grid here for the start of this race. So that will move Caleb Sheets to 17th, Jacob Locklear to 18th, and Robert Lukens to 19th with 19 cars starting the race.
With this being a short track, they're going to take 2 pace laps around. So that's the reason that pace car is still out there at the moment. But these drivers will be turned loose this time by Ty Marasco, the pole sitter.
No penalties, so nobody going to the rear, nobody going to pit road. Front row, gonna lead the field of green. Ty Marasco, Zach Amon, coming to the Geico restart zone. We are green here at Richmond.
Ben Lacey making it 3 wide into turn 1. Marasco able to hold on. Oh, there's contact at the back.
Zachary Wareham got loose off of 2. Slade was able to save it. Keeps the momentum rolling, but you see there, that's what it's going to be like. It's going to be a battle of loose situations all night long for these drivers. Only lap 1 completed of 200. They're going to be fighting these conditions like crazy. Trying to keep that car settled, and Brett Bennett sliding up into the wall. In classic Brett Bennett fashion, he slips up, he spins over, corrects, and gets the wall pretty good there. That 47 dropping to the back.
That is a tough break. Started...
Ooh, spinning on the front! First caution of the day, Jonathan Canfield spun around there on the front straightaway. And that brings out the first caution of the race. Looking at the replay, drifted up into the 59. That is Blaine Sparling, and then just finished off Caleb Sheets. Right there, looks like he tried to get off him. He tried to keep out of him, but just ended up hooking him and spinning him down the front straightaway. So early troubles already here at Richmond. Issues with Brett Bennett and now Jonathan Canfield. But that will bring out the first caution of this race.
Good news for Canfield is doesn't look like his car is damaged at all. Had a little bit of contact on the left rear, but it looks really clean.
Yeah, only took a spin there in the grass, didn't hit the wall or anything. On the other hand, Brett Bennett, I assume, pulling out pit road, we see the only car on pit road. Had to get some damage repaired. Took a pretty good hit to the wall there. Just going back to look, it looks like he gets loose and then backs it in right rear into the wall. So a pretty good hit for Bennett. Gonna have to get some damage repaired and hope to keep maintaining on the lead lap and keep in it. Of course, Brett Bennett sponsored by Joseph Wrigley. RaceForTobyChristie.com. Your Wrigley stat of the day. Brett Bennett is still winless in league races. So we'll have to see if he can change that fortune tonight. But as of right now, the way it started off, it looks like that trend is going to continue.
He will have a long way to go. A lot of positions to make up in 195 laps. Ben Lacey was able to make up a position with his 3-wide move going into turn 1 on the initial start of the race. Didn't take the lead away, but he definitely had a strong showing right at the start of the race. Ty Marasco once again will have that number 1 spot for the restart. Still 19 cars on track. Everybody's still on the lead lap.
Through the Geico restart zone, the green flag flies once again here. A bit of a stack up there, but Ty Marasco jumps to the race lead. This time a better start over both Ben Lacey and Zach Amon, who find themselves battling for the second position.
And Amon rolled about him really well. Ben Lacey got way wide off turn 2.
We almost had another accident there. Michael Aminti and Michael Thorpe Jr. almost made contact. That 50 car drove it in deep into turn 3 and just about got into the 34, but they both were able to keep off each other and make sure to keep it clean. A spin on the back, nosing into the wall. Caleb Sheets around on the backstretch there. No caution. It looks like he just got loose in the corner, spun down and hit the wall. Zachary Wareham, not too far up ahead of him, also had issues, got loose, but he was able to maintain. We stay green here at Richmond. 10 laps coming up to being complete.
Yeah, I noticed Wareham got loose again. Like you were saying, just before Sheets had his issue. Wareham, I'm not sure, battling a loose race car or just trying to settle into the race car right now. Meanwhile, up front, battle for the lead. Ben Lacey, he is there, racing with Ty Marasco. Lacey is doing a great job rolling that bottom all the way through the corner.
Oh, sliding, almost spinning on the back straightaway. Michael Thorpe Jr. able to save it. He had to get on the brakes hard to not run over Zach Probst. Is going to cost him some spots, but I was just getting ready to talk about him, about how well he had been doing, making moves through the field, but right now he's going to find himself 12th place after being all the way up in the 8th position. He was making some moves, but now he's going to have to pay for it, dropping back to 12th.
And with all that going on, we have a new leader. As you saw, Ben Lacey able to take the lead away from Ty Marasco. New leader after 14. Driver that has won twice. Ben Lacey got loose, though, touched the apron. That allowed Marasco to get to the outside. Marasco back in line between Lacey and Amon.
They continue to battle for the lead. I'm watching a battle heating up for the 8th position right now between Christopher Bassinger and Bridger Olson. The two of them going at it right now. Olson is right over the back bumper of the 14, trying to do anything he can to make this move, but he's been right there with him. You see just up ahead now, Zach Probst making a move on Noah Maori. That is for the 6th position. So Probst is looking to go here, as is that 0-2 of Bridger Olson. You see the 14 getting a little loose on corner exit, and the 0-2 wants to try to pounce on that as quick as he can.
And it looks like Olson's going to get underneath Bassinger. Still side by side down the back straightaway, now in 3. Either driver wanting to give here, but there's a spin!
Bassinger got loose in front of, behind, right on the quarter panel of Olson, excuse me, and just like that, they make contact and around goes the 0-2. Second caution of the race now, just into 20 laps. But just like that, that's how easy it can change. 14 had an issue, got a little loose in the corner. Had a really good battle going there, but just at 14 gets a little loose on corner exit and just makes contact and around he goes. Bassinger obviously apologizing over the radio, but the only response from that 0-2, nice. So, well, not too happy, I would say, that 0-2 Bridger Olson is after that issue, but that's what happens. You know, you get side by side with somebody like that, and you wind up getting turned. Because somebody else get loose. So, not obviously his fault, but it's part of it, how it happens. So, we'll see. But Ben Lacey leading the way here. 21 laps in the books. Ty Marasco second. Zach Amon third. Brian Dees fourth. Derek Paulson is in 5th. Obviously, 2 cars on pit road. It's the 0-2 of Bridger Olson and the 26 Caleb Sheets. The 2 drivers that had damage, sustained damage from previous incidents, of course. We saw Sheets spin into the inside wall there not too long after the start of that second run. And then, of course, Olson bringing out that most recent caution. The field coming through 3 and 4. So they're going to have to get rolling off pit road here quick.
And both drivers are exiting pit road, so we still see every driver that started this race continuing to run here. The damage doesn't look too bad. surprisingly, for that 0-2 of Bridger Olson.
He made some pretty good contact there, so I'm surprised that he doesn't have as much more damage than he does. So, I mean, still not a long shot from being out of it. He has a chance to recover and keep at it. They're lining up too wide, anticipating the start. Should be 1 to green this time by.
Indeed it is. Lights on the pace car do go off. Ben Lacey, Ty Marasco will make up row 1. Zach Amon, P3. Brian Dees will restart P4.
Yeah, Derek Paulson maintains the 5th position through all of the chaos. And Zach Probst up to 6th. He's been benefiting from some of these cautions stacking the field back up. Will he be able to make some more moves? He started this race in the 10th position. So we'll definitely be interested to see if he can continue to march forward.
Pace car has made its way back to the safety of pit road. In the hands, Ben Lacey. Green flag waving. Ben Lacey with a great restart here. And same with Zach Amon. Underneath Ty Marasco. Zach Amon was able to clear Marasco for 2nd position. Amon has his sights set on Ben Lacey in that race lead.
Bridger Olson is getting in some tight situations here, trying to make some ground back up. Stuck behind the 47 of Brett Bennett. Almost got put in a 3-wide situation with the 16 of Jonathan Canfield, but he is just fighting his heart. He is fighting as hard as he can here to get through these lap cars, or these slower cars, excuse me. These are not lappers, they are slower cars. You see that 26, Caleb Sheets right there to his inside. You see battling happening everywhere around him. He is going to have to be careful with this swarm of cars. He is in the hornet's nest, and he's going to have to make some work here to get back to the front.
And just before you start talking about Bridger Olson, I was noticing Zach Probst and Derek Paulson were side by side. Probst on the outside. He was able to make the pass on Derek Paulson. So your pick to win, Zach Probst. I mentioned how I know he's really good at short tracks. He's proving that he indeed is good at short tracks. Making his way towards the front, Dawson.
He started for the race in 10th place, and now he's up to 5th, and he keeps marching forward. As of right now, he is setting some pretty good lap times, pretty comparable with the leaders. Relatively close to the leaders, I should say. He is trying to fight back to the front, or at least fight to the front, I should say, all he can. Definitely going to have to keep your eyes on that 62 the rest of this race.
Well, here comes Derek Paulson to the inside of Zach Probst. They're going to be side by side. Probst trying to fight back on the outside line. Oh, they both may have gotten loose there, but advantage Derek Paulson going into 3. Man, Probst trying to get clear and protect that bottom.
And what that's allowed to do, here comes Michael Thorpe Jr. once again. Remember, not too long ago, earlier on, he locked it up behind the 62, trying not to run over him in the corners, cost him a couple spots. Now he's back up right about where he was, and he's going to see if he can make this pass on Probst, make it stick, and go to 6th.
Ty Marasco under fire from Brian Dees and his MF Racing Design teammate. Ty Marasco, he started on the pole. He just did not have the pace to keep the lead so far. right now trying to stay ahead of Brian Dees for the 3rd position. Michael Thorpe Jr. right there with Zach Probst. Maybe a little bit of contact between Thorpe and Probst. Probst gonna give Thorpe the inside. Michael Thorpe Jr. not able to clear Zach Probst yet. Still trying to work his way around. Probst, he has to be careful here because see that train. No, Mayuri is a teammate. Maybe Mayuri would let Zach back in if Michael is able to clear Probst here, but there might be enough of a gap, but they're still side by side, Dawson.
Yeah, they're still side by side. That's a battle for the 6th position. Something I'm going to point out, though, I've been watching a battle a little bit further back. This has been for the 12th position between Blaine Sparling and Robert Lukens. Lukens just did a masterclass of a pass there for that position, working his way through the outside lane to get around that 59. So something to watch there. That outside lane can work. You can make a pass work there. So it'll be interesting to see if that develops later on in the race or if that was just a one-time thing. But that 20 car made a very, very well-timed, well-executed pass to get to that position. So kudos to Lukens for that great move.
These guys are just so close together. Robert Lukens looking back to the outside. He has Christopher Bassinger right in front of him. Lukens seeing if he maybe discovered something.
He's rolling the top through the corners, and he gets a little more exit speed when he's able to get on the gas. You can see there he gets a little more of a run in the 14, so he can pull right up to the back bumper. So he is absolutely trying to see if he can make this work, if he can make this viable. You might see some guys start driven to that top lane and try something out here if they can. See up ahead of the 38, Jamie Plur gets a little loose. Now battling, actually getting by the 50 of Michael Amenti. I believe Amenti got loose on the exit of 2 there. No, in fact, Plord just made it stick on the outside, so we're seeing that happen. We're seeing some of these guys a little bit further back, drifting up to the top lane. You see Plord is going for what would be 8th and maybe even 7th if he can get by Mayuri and Probst.
Probst to the outside, but now Plord to the inside, loose, but saves it.
That car is driving good right now. He's got it all hooked up. Even sliding sideways, he's able to keep the momentum going and try to go for a position. He's now to the inside. Now he's clear, but he's going to try to make the move, pop back to the outside. You see that the 38 is going to be relentless. Look at the speed he can carry through the corner as he rolls to the outside to Zach Probst. He's looking for what would be the 8th position.
That is incredible. Plord is almost able to clear Probst. Just a hair. But Probst, tight entry.
Ooh. Michael Amenti's drifted up to the top lane as well. They were almost 3 wide. Probst got forced down a little bit further. You see they're starting to make a line up there, trying to see if they can make something work. We'll have to see, though, if this is going to pay off long run or short run. But right now, the outside lane is where you're making moves, where you're seeing some guys make some passes.
Bassinger, Lukens, they're going to work the outside, trying to get there around Probst. Bassinger was able to. Lukens trying. And Lucan's finally able to clear Zach Probst. Probst, he is falling like a rock up into the wall is Zach Probst, though. They are
3 wide, almost 4 wide.
Someone has to give. They finally do. Probst.
Oh, spinning! Brett Bennett's around. Spinning in turns 1 and 2. He'll spin it out, and the caution will fly. He got in hot, got to the back of Wareham and spun it out, trying to make sure he didn't hit him. What a miss by Caleb Sheets to not hit that 47 car. And once again, Brett Bennett spins. It's the second time tonight he has brought out a caution, and I wonder now, on lap 48, looking for the tire situation to see what the deal is going to be. Looks like they have 5 sets, so yeah, everybody's going to come down pit road, of course, and take their first set right now.
Ben Lacey leading everybody down pit road. He's going to come to a stop in his box. We await the race off pit road. As it's going to be a close one, but I think Lacey might have gotten him on just by an inch. Ben Lacey. He is, I think, started to really become the early championship favorite, Dawson.
Absolutely. I mean, he is definitely showing that he's got the speed and he's got what it takes to get it done at this level. Looking at it, he's got 2 wins on the season now. The win at Phoenix and the win now at Watkins Glen. So it's definitely just a constant process for Lacey. He's up front in these races. He's leading these races. He should have 3 wins on the season. But for right now, only the 2. But he's looking for his 3rd tonight if he can get it, as we are over the quarter mark here in this event. 51 laps down. And everybody's still running on the racetrack. I noticed that Passenger is now back to 19th. Probst is 18th. Looks like they got some extra time to get some extra damage repair under that caution. So we'll see how this shakes up with those 2 being behind a lot of the guys that haven't had as much speed as them.
Sheets, Canfield, Probst, and Bassinger all had 21-plus second pit stops. We are going back green here.
Lacey stacks him up. The rest of the field follows suit, though. Marasco to the inside of him on. He is coming for the 2nd position. They're side by side, entering turn 1. This will be interesting to watch to see how they're able to manage it on the cold tires.
And right now, either driver has an advantage. Oh! Amon up into the wall.
Not supposed to do that. You're supposed to keep it off the wall, but Amon finds a way to hit it. As they're still battling, they're 3 wide, a little bit further back here. Just for a split second in 1 and 2, they were 3 wide. Battle between Lukens and Olsen. They are trying to fight for some spots in the outside lane, trying to make it work. Oh, spinning Jacob Locklear saves it just barely, missing the grass. What a save by the 84. Keeps it from spinning out. And now he drops back a couple spots. They're going to continue to battle here. Spinning now, Zachary Wareham. He gets loose off of 2. He's going to save it. Get back into it. Wow. What a save for the both of them. And now they find themselves battling for what would be the 15th position.
Wareham, of course, already a couple of amazing saves in this race. He just keeps adding on to that save total.
Watching Michael Thorpe battling for a top 5 spot on the inside of the 17 of Brian D as he is fighting with everything he has in the front straightaway. Here we go. This 34 is wanting to push towards the front. Right now, he's got to move for 5th. If he can get this clear, he can try to set his sights on Derek Paulson for the 4th spot.
Loose off of turn 2 was Michael Thorpe. They still maintain side by side, but Thorpe, he had his hands full for a moment. Oh, a little bit of contact between the two. Thorpe drives it up into D's just a little bit. I think Thorpe might be able to clear. D's a little loose off turn 2. Thorpe now with the best advantage he has had on Brian D so far, but D's fighting back on that outside off turn 4.
Hey, right now what I'm watching a caution fest waiting to happen. A lot of these guys battling. As I see Ty Marasco has made it past Zach Amon. Battling still with him, though. Everybody from 12th on back, they are loose as a goose. They are fighting the handling of these cars. They keep pushing up near each other, almost into each other. So it's just one of those things. Keep an eye on that, watching to see, because they are driving wild. And I don't think they're going to make it too far longer without having any issues.
Yeah, Mon and Marasco battling side by side for P2.
As they do that, though, that's allowing that number 7 of Ben Lacey to just run away with it. He is just pulling away.
Mon finally clear of Marasco.
In the wall in the front straightaway. Jacob Locklear overcorrected, slamming the outside wall. Hard hit to the right side of that 84. Looks like he might have broke a wheel.
Yeah, right side, right front.
Yeah, that toe link is gone. At 84, a very hard hit to the outside wall. It looked like he got loose on the front stretch, overcorrected it, and just found himself buried into the outside wall right in front of Probst and Bassinger. Oh my goodness, very close to an issue there for that 62 as his teammate slams the wall ahead of him and just about takes him out with him.
Right here is a good group of drivers. Nose to tail.
Now, I was getting ready to say something. I've got my eyes on somebody here. 5th place, Michael Thorpe. He is running in this group along with Brian Dees. They are setting faster lap times in the leader. Meanwhile, a little bit further back, Robert Lukens losing it almost. He saves it on the bottom. He keeps it off the wall. He keeps it rolling straight. Green flag will keep it out. But man, that was a save and a half by him as well. But I'm talking about up front. Michael Thorpe, Brian Dees, they are running comparable, if not faster lap times than our race leader. Ty Marasco gets a little loose off the corner. That opens the door for Derek Paulson. Can't quite get there. Now Michael Thorpe is right on the back bumper of the 6. Action all over the speedway right now.
Yeah, Ben Lacey, he has a really good lead right now, but Paulson gets loose. Thorpe looking underneath Paulson, not able to make the move. These drivers from 2nd to 6th, all under a blanket right now.
He almost had a wreck. Robert Lukens got the wall. Brett Bennett almost drifted up into him and took out Probst and Wareham. They are still 2 by 2. Now back to 2 wide up front. Brett Bennett losing it again on the straightaway. He's going to save it. He's going to keep it straight, but he's going to be right there. Probst gets by. He washes up, almost hitting Wareham. He is struggling with that car. That car is evil right now.
These guys maintain single file.
Danny Plort had an issue a little loose on the corner on the exit of 2 as well, battling with Caleb Sheets for what would be the top 10 spot. But up front, though, almost a 2.5 second lead now for Ben Lacey over the rest of the field.
Yeah, Ben Lacey, he is feeling comfortable right now. He is glad he's not a part of the chaos behind. Ben Lacey, fastest car on track that last time by at the line. And this is
out. Robert Lukens. Once again, Robert Lukens has an issue in the corners. Oh, it looks like a little bit of help there. Zach Probst washed up off the corner into the back of the 20, but then an overcorrection sends him nose first into the wall. So it could have easily been just backing into the wall and getting a little repair. Might have turned out to be a, well, near end of the line race for Robert Lukens. A pretty good hit to the nose, and that front end got pushed in pretty good. And you see the 59 as well. Yes, he's a Sparling.
Sparling able to keep it off the wall. Was he just reacting to the accident? Clipped the apron.
Happy. Yeah, he clipped the apron and spun it out, but Robert Lukens not happy. Obviously not. He feels like he was wronged there. Probst looked like he almost came off the bottom lane there and washed up into him. Might have just brought it in a little too hot in the corner, obviously, but obviously Lukens doesn't take too kindly to it. Not very happy with him over text chat and has already left the session, so that'll be a spot. If Jacob Locklear can get going again, I look at him on pit road. He's just kind of spinning the tires, the back tires right now as he's getting his repairs done. So that will be a spot. Time will tell when he can get back out there. But that 84 is still here, ready to race if he can get it back going.
So I assume here we're going to go green with 126 laps to go in this race. This is already caution number 4. Overall, it's been some really good racing.
Yeah, there's been a lot of good side-by-side action from second on back. That number 7 car of Ben Lacey, he has pretty much run away with it once he got to the lead. Not really had much of a challenge there, but I'm wondering if we can see that change here as this run goes on, as this race continues on, if somebody can get up there and contend for it.
You know, while we have a chance here, lights on the pace car are still on. I'm going to continue to talk about Ben Lacey and Zach Amon. And, you know, take it back to Phoenix, another track, pretty much the only track with the exception of Watkins Glen, of course, where there's been a lot of heavy braking for these guys. And Zach Amon, he seemed to be a long-run driver. Ben Lacey, of course, spun out early, so Lacey spent most of the race just even getting back up to the front. My thing here is Lacey, of course, pulling out to that 2, almost 3 second lead. Is it all just that he has something figured out? Or is Amon able to maybe save a little bit for what could potentially be a longer run? Regardless, we are going back 2 by 2. The lights on the pace car going off, and it will be 125 laps to go. When we go back green, Ben Lacey, Zach Amon, the front row.
Yeah, coming through 3 and 4 to get back to it. Lacey and Amon side by side. Those are your 2 picks, Josh. Those are the 2 guys you chose to possibly go out there and win this race. Green flag is out. You see again Lacey stacking up the field, and he gets a good launch ahead of Marasco and Amon, heading down into turn 1. Michael Thorpe has gotten to 4th. You see some wall contact there from Brian Dees. A lot of drivers fighting and battling everything they can right now near the further back of the half of the field, excuse me. But right now, Brian Dees, Noah Mary battling. That is for the 6th position. Just behind Derek Paulson, but everybody's still trailing Ben Lacey.
Oh, Noah Mary, a little loose there off turn 2. Bridger Olson. Oh, Noah Mary around!
They are around!
Caution is out. And Noah Mary able to keep it going straight. He had help, though, from Zach Probst. Probst nowhere able to go.
No, that wasn't on Probst. Mayuri drove it in hot, got into Olsen, and Probst just had nowhere to go. But a great job by everybody else in missing that one. That should have been a multi-car accident. Instead, we only got the 62 and the 8. But looking at that replay again, it looks like Mayuri gets a little too hot in the corner and just washes up into the 02 of Bridger Olson, and it winds out taking out another teammate in the 62 of Zach Probst. Meanwhile, look up ahead. Ben Lacey going to pull it down pit road. It looks like he is all by his lonesome on the pit lane.
Yeah, 2 drivers came with him, but they were drivers that were riding towards the back. Noah Mary being one of them, Blaine Sparling being the other. Ooh, man, this is an interesting call here, because now Ben Lacey, he's going to be in the Hornets' nest.
Yeah, Ben Lacey has 2 wins on the season. He's just going for more at this point right now. And what I'm wondering here, if we get a long-term green flag run, he will have fresher tires. He'll be able to stretch it further. As of right now, he is currently just pit. The rest of the field pit 30 laps ago. So we've got a bit of a time difference between those pit stops. So maybe, just maybe, if Lacey can make up that ground, make up that time, and get ahead of the rest of the field, and try to put some distance between everybody, that could lead to a big payoff for Ben Lacey to win this race. But that's all banking on a long green flag run.
Ben Lacey, he's going to have to be patient, though. Patiently aggressive, I think, is the name of the game here.
Yeah, absolutely going to have to pick his moments here. He's going to be behind some cars that have been struggling all race long with some loose conditions or some struggling with the cars in general. So he's really going to have to pick and choose his battles as best as he can to make sure he doesn't put himself in a position to get wrecked out to wind up in the garage instead of in victory lane. Should be getting the 1 to green this time by. Zach Amon will assume the race lead over Ty Marasco. Michael Thorpe will get 3rd. Derek Paulson 4th, and Brian Dees will be the top 5.
So I think one thing here I want to note is Michael Thorpe. He has been really good on restarts. Thorpe sitting P3 here. I'm very curious and interested to know what Thorpe is going to do. Is he going to push the issue, try to get that lead?
It'll be interesting having somebody different starting from the front of this race with the field in the hands of Zach Amon. It should be interesting to see. We've only seen Marasco and Lacey lead the field to green, so having somebody else now leading the way, it's going to be interesting to see how he can get the launch heading down into turn 1. Pace car through 3 and 4. Diving off, leaving the field in the hands of Zach Amon and Ty Marasco. Into the Geico restart zone. The green flag flies. We're back racing again. You see another stack up in the inside lane. But Zach Amon jumps out to a huge lead. Now Michael Thorpe to the inside battling for second.
Thorpe trying to stay to the inside of Marasco, not able to. Marasco washes up just a little bit. Ridger Olsen back up in the top 5.
Oh, wrecking on the back! Caleb Sheets! Christopher Bassinger! They are the ones that are going to be involved in this one. Ben Lacey sneaked by it, but the caution will fly once again here. It looks like maybe the 26 getting loose on the corner, or maybe not.
Oh. Looking from the blimp, you see Jamie Plord get a little loose. I think Sheets was going up a lane, trying to get around Plord. I'm not sure.
It looks like he's trying to get around that possibly loose 38 of Jimmy Plord, but he just goes up a little too much, didn't realize the 14 was there, and just came right up. Maybe a little bit of net code, but still came up into him, ended up taking that 14 into the wall there. So issues for the 26 and the 14. Once again, now the 14 involved in another incident. Not a good race thus far for Bassingers. He finds himself on pit road, down a lap.
But the one thing you did point out there was that Ben Lacey made it through. Brett Bennett as well. I was watching him get through that. And Bennett was able to. Jamie Plord car that we were talking about that got just a little bit loose there. Plord running in P9 at the moment. I keep seeing this car, 59. Blaine Sparling. I know Red Sim Design, they have sponsored, I believe, a couple of races. I know at least one of the season, but that car, that just looks incredible. Absolutely. I think that paint scheme is very amazing.
Well, coming through this time by, it might be one to go next time around. Have to see, though, where this will lead. Zach Amon continuing to lead the race. Ty Marasco still in second. He was able to hold off Michael Thorpe's charge there, trying to get to the third position. Or the second position, excuse me.
Marasco, he's been under fire all race long on the restarts. Marasco just not firing off as well as some of the other guys have been, but Marasco, I think he's learning after all these restarts what he needs to do. We'll see again. Marasco is able to maintain the fight and possibly go up and fight for the lead over Zach Amon.
Pace car in Amon Marasco the front row through the Geico restart zone. Another good launch by Amon as the green flag drops once again.
Marasco clear early. No fight to maintain second. Paulson in the wall. Back in fourth place. Now under fire from Bridger Olsen.
Battling for any spot they can get right now. Seeing if they can make some moves and push the issue. I see Derek Paulson is getting battled with Bridger Olsen now. That's for fourth. That sticks car to the outside lane, trying to make something work if he can. But right now they're sideways, tight. They almost hit. They might have hit, actually. Contact with the 02 and the 6, but they're still racing now. Bridger Olsen will clear, and the 6 of Derek Paulson will pull down the line, blocking the run of Zach Probst and Brian Dees both at once to hold on to that fifth position. Meanwhile, up front, we got a battle for the lead.
Just as I was saying, you know, Ty Marasco, if he was able to win the fight over Michael Thorpe, which, of course, there really wasn't one. On the restart, Marasco would have his sights set for the lead. Marasco led very early in this race, looking to get that lead back.
Looking a little bit further back. Ben Lacey's up to 8th. Now under fire, Zach Probst is. That 7 car is coming. Trying to make a move if he can. The 62 and the 17 just up ahead of him. Seeing a lot of guys get loose a little bit further back, holding on for everything they've got. But Marasco still hounding the 54-1 of Zach Amon.
Marasco to the outside of Amon. I'm not sure if Amon had a bad exit off turn 2. Marasco is there, looking to the inside.
Lacey has gotten by Probst, now looks to fight with the 17 of Brian Z's. Ooh, Marasco a little loose off the corner there. I saw that. Very close indeed for Marasco, but he's able to maintain it and keep it rolling, trying to hunt down the race leader. Meanwhile, Ben Lacey to the outside of D's. He's looking at picking him off one by one if he can. Fighting now to the outside, and he's going to roll that middle lane, and he's going to clear Brian D's on the exit, so move Ben Lacey up to 6th. He's coming for that race lead.
Ben Lacey, he probably feels like Superman a little bit.
On the other hand, that Superman car sure ain't feeling that way. I think he's found his kryptonite. He has dropped all the way back to 15th. That's Michael Amenti in the 50 car, just struggling throughout this race, seeing everything he can do. But right now, you see him to the inside of the 47. That's Brett Bennett, of course. He's not having a stellar day either. Ben Lacey to 5th now. He's gotten by the 6 of Derek Paulson.
Lacey looking to the inside, Bridger Olsen.
He's trying to force the issue if he can. Really wants to get going as fast as possible. He is running the fastest laps on track, seeing if he can do anything else here. As he gets to the inside, he'll make the move. That's going to be 4th now for Ben Lacey in his march to the front as we cross the halfway point this time by.
Riding on board with Lacey, just see how tight it is. See, he gets underneath 34, Michael Thorpe Jr. P3 for Ben Lacey.
Not wasting any time now, setting his sights on Ty Marasco. He's going to have a run down the back straightaway to the inside of that 1 car. Here goes Ben Lacey now to 2nd. As he makes the move, he'll find his way by Ty Marasco. Meanwhile, a little bit further back, Bridger Olsen, Michael Thorpe, a little bit of contact there on the front stretch.
Bridger Olsen had to defend off Derek Paulson, but Ben Lacey to the inside.
Ooh, tight for the lead. Lacey sitting it on Amon. Amon tried to block, couldn't do it. Caution is going to fly, though. It looks like it's Christopher Bassinger yet again spinning out on the backstretch just as Lacey had gotten to the race lead.
That's going to make things interesting for pit strategy.
Just like that, though, the timing of that caution, Ben Lacey had just gotten the race lead. So he is scored as the leader. Zach Amon second. Ty Marasco is third. And it looks like Lacey's going to lead the field down. So an interesting call for sure, but I wonder if it just took too long for Lacey's liking to be anything of a benefit for him. So he winds up pitting this time by. I see one car staying out. That's the 8, Noah Maori. He stays out. There's the 84 there. That's Jacob Locklear. He is back out on track after that tire rod broke from that incident on the front stretch. So he is back rolling. And then Christopher Bassinger, 3 laps down right now. He is rolling as well, right behind. But everybody else down pit road. Watching the race off pit road, Blaine Sparling. First off of pit road, I'm wondering if he didn't take tires, though, because that's a 5.3 second stop. Might have just been fuel. Indeed it was. He put some fuel in it, maybe some damage repair, and he pulled away. So Blaine Sparling out second, and he's not coming down again this time, it looks like. But after that, everybody else, race off pit road, just kind of depends on who it was and where you look. But Noah Maori staying out, and looks like Blaine Sparling didn't take tires either, so 2 drivers with a little bit older tires now going to be the top 2.
One thing that I think makes this league different from others that I've broadcasted is the strategy in this league is interesting. Drivers will take strategy that I didn't think was possible, and it happens week after week. These guys, they've got a limit on their tire sets. Their fuel capacity is only 70% of what the Cup cars normally run. Blaine Sparling continuing to prove that strategy definitely exists here.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's going to be a big thing about strategy. You know, you got to make that call, see if you can't make it stick. Obviously, the fuel capacity, 70%, is going to do some things different, going to change things and shake things up. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. In case you're watching us, you're probably not watching the eNASCAR championship race, in case you ever care. They're currently sitting at about 8,000 viewers. So something fishy going on there. Maybe JCTV, we have integrity. We would never view bot. But that's, you know, we're not the Coca-Cola Racing Series, so who knows with them. Meanwhile, though, here, tonight, right now, Noah Maori. And the 59 of Blaine Sparling, the front row. This will be interesting. Ben Lacey came out first, so he is third. He has the easiest moves to make. Just get a good restart with the 8 and then get around him as fast as possible, and you can put everybody else behind you. So we'll have to see what he can do, and I'm watching as well. Zach Amon's going to get a little aggressive trying to get by this 59 as quick as he can. So let's see what happens. Through 3 and 4, the pace car leading the field. Got to pull off, take that hard left down pit road. Noah Maori leads him into the Geico restart zone. The green flag is out, and a good launch by the 8. The 59 didn't get going. That's going to stack up Amon. He's going to shoot to the bottom. Bridger Olsen stuck up top, but now Maori leads the field. Lacey is in second.
Ben Lacey already.
They're three wide right now. They're 3 wide in the corner. How did they manage to keep it off each other there? That was some tight racing. Derek Paulson blinking in and out just further back there you see, but Ben Lacey makes the move for the lead. Caution is out. It involves Zach Probst. The 26 once again. Oh! That one might be the one to get him out of the race. He gets behind Bennett, pulls a little bit to the outside, and then just turns up and hits the 62. So that'll be another caution here for Zach Probst. Drivers are not happy right now over the comms with the 26.
And I don't want to start sounding like I'm bashing or pointing out what anybody is doing, but I'm wondering there, as I was kind of watching those last couple of laps leading up to that incident, it seemed like Caleb Sheets was driving it into the corner just a little bit too hard. And I'm wondering there if it looked like he was about to get into the back of Brett Bennett, and maybe pulled up, not thinking about Probst to the outside, trying to avoid hitting Brett Bennett. I'm not saying that's what happened.
Say that, but
that's what I'm wondering though.
So looking at it, Brett Bennett just said he got hit in the back, and I believe that as well. It did look like he got hit in the back by the driver of the 26.
Caleb Sheets currently P16. Zach Probst 15th. Still rolling. Noah Mayuri coming down pit road.
So, after all this confusion and shakeup, Ben Lacey leading the field here. So we'll have to see how this plays out the rest of this way. We've still got good ways to go here. About 85, 86, maybe 87 laps, I believe, is the math.
I'll be 87, 86 coming to the green flag.
Oh, double file they go. Ready for the restart. Ben Lacey, Zach Amon on the outside lane. Restart. Here we go again. A good jump by Lacey. Marasco now to the inside of Amon. This is the battle for second we're watching. Bridger Olsen backing it up on the outside lane. They're pretty good. Car on the wall on the outside. Blaine Sparling gets the wall. And just like that, it's going to shake everything up now as we see more battling between the 34 and the 02, Bridger Olsen and Michael Thorpe. Still side by side, car spinning to the inside. Jonathan Canfield gets into the inside wall on the front stretch. You see him there in that shot. He's going to get it fired up and back going, but right now, issues for him. He is slow on the racetrack. Oh, sliding as well. Brian Dees on the front stretch. He'll save it. He'll keep it straight. And now's getting to the time where everybody's getting tight, racing and battling as hard as they can. Amon clear to second. Sticks it Derek Paulson into the wall. Michael Thorpe Jr. barely missing him. Now there's a battle for third. Marasco, Paulson, Thorpe, and Olsen all right here. And they're all right behind Zach Amon. But meanwhile, while this happens, Ben Lacey is trying to check out once again.
There was so much going on, I couldn't do my camera work to keep up with it all. Oh, spinning Derek Paulson, or at least loose. He will spin it, lock it up. Caution is out.
And once again, another restart. While we're under caution here, what do you say we try to get a hold of the current race leader, Ben Lacey? So let's see if we can get a hold of our current race leader, Ben Lacey, as he currently sits P1. Dominating the race so far. Hey, Ben Lacey, this is the boys up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Alrighty, well, it's been a back and forth kind of race. You've been pretty much dominant this whole race. A strategy call put you a little bit further back, but you made the march back to the front, and now you find yourself in the lead again. What do you think it's going to take to try to finish this one off and secure the win tonight?
Oh, man. That caution came out around lap 100 at the wrong time. That's kind of the second round of pit stops. I was hoping to go a little bit further, get a little more use out of those tires, and then lock back in on the sequence up on them. But, so it's probably going to depend on how the cautions roll at the end. Because I only got like one set left. So just depends on how that rolls. And hopefully if it plays in our favor, then hopefully we can get the W.
Yeah, it's going to be a close one. There's been a lot of cautions, a lot of issues further back in the pack. Does that help you in your strategy, just trying to be able to make it last a little bit longer as you see these guys continue to take themselves out?
Yeah, it'll help out a lot, save the tires. Obviously, you're not scrubbing them as hard. So, I mean, it kind of sucks. It's, you don't get to run and you do any racing. You're just kind of pacing around here. But definitely helps, play the tire strategy out in our favor a little bit more. But just depends on those last couple, lap 150 and on. It'll be interesting to see how the cautions play and what happens.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you get back to it with your team. Best of luck and hope to talk to you later. That was Ben Lacey, driver the number 7. And so with that, looks like we should be getting 2 to go this time by. 2 laps left until we go back green.
A couple drivers towards the back, coming down pit road. Noah Mayuri, Jonathan Canfield, and Blaine Smarling. Canfield went too far in his box. Had to back it up.
You're like us and you follow iRacing. As of right now, as they run for the Coca-Cola iRacing series, Casey Kerwin, second place. Bobby Zielinski is third. They're right there with each other with 25 to go. So that'll be the battle for the championship there. But they still got a little bit of ways to go as well as we do. It's coming up to 24 laps to go for them. Of course, This is the only time I really care about the iRacing series is when they're on that championship race, just because who doesn't like a little bit of drama? But right now, up front, at this race, we got some drama as well. Ben Lacey has to hold him off once again on another restart. Zach Amon once again to his outside as the pace car pulls off to the Geico restart zone. Ben Lacey will take him to the green. Once again, he stacks him up, takes off, and just like that, the 7 car back out front. Marasco now going to battle for second with Amon if he can get to him. No, he cannot.
Oh, spinning.
Spinning wrecking! Zachary Wareham gets in the wall. How he didn't spin it back down across the track and take out more is beyond me. But Wareham gets the wall. And damage to the 12 once again. Meanwhile, Zach Amon got loose on the front stretch. He's back to the 5th position. Slid it, had to lock it down, and he held on to it. But Zach Amon drops back to 5th. Ty Marasco and Bridger Olsen now take 2nd, 3rd, and Michael Thorpe Jr. is up to the 4th position.
Caleb Sheets, Jamie Plord, they were just side by side. Plord drove it hard on the outside, get around Sheets. But here comes Sheets. A little fast coming in to the corner. Might have caught the wall there on exit.
It's been the cause of 3 cautions today, to the ire of the other drivers in the field. So we'll have to see how the rest of the race can play out, if he can keep his nose clean and keep going and keep racing hard for positions. Meanwhile, up front, Ty Marasco is 2nd. He's been running slightly faster laps some of these times. In fact, he just ran his fastest lap of the race that last time by. But in vain, he does one good, and the next lap it's Ben Lacey who's running faster. So we'll have to see what he can do.
Meanwhile,
16 on pit road. Sorry to interrupt, Josh, but lots of battling all around the field. Everybody just pushing for any position they can get here in the early goings of this run. Seeing if this will go a long one or if this will be short. We'll have to see how long they can make it without having any issues.
Brett Bennett looking to the inside. Oh, Zach Probst!
Sliding, spinning sideways. He catches it back up, gets back going, but that's going to drop him back to 14th right now. And I see an issue. Ty Marasco is blinking. That's what it was. And saw Marasco drop all the way down to the leaderboard. That number 1 car is blinking now as well.
How in the world did Probst not hit the wall?
And it's a little something he's got called talent. That is able to save it and keep it off the wall. I believe he's going to be that much slower, though, because of the fact that he got so loose there and might have burned up a little bit of the tires, so he's going to have to play it nice with it.
Watching the replay here. If it shows. Appears it is not gonna show there. But back to live timing. Bridger Olsen. He's had a crazy race. Flying up through the field after incident earlier. Olsen trying to chase down Ty Marasco.
We've got 2 drivers that are in and out of connection here. Paulson and Marasco are having blinking issues right now. They just disappear and reappear. So definitely worrying some of the other drivers the way they're just not really fully all the way there. So it could easily play a factor and shake things up as this race goes on. For some of these guys, not having the internet be stable for them could lead to some issues.
If you get a guy get up close to a driver at the wrong time, they blink out and reappear. You know, those issues you're talking about, it really can cause an accident.
Oh, we're seeing that issue. Jamie Plord is racing Derek Paulson, trying to get by him for the 7th spot. He's going to have to forego that battle just to make sure he doesn't wreck. I mean, they were side by side. They were literally right on each other there. So definitely not what you want to do if you're trying to battle for a position up in the top 10, is race with somebody who's having connection issues. But Paulson is just continuing to blink. It's really bad right now. I wouldn't be shocked if he's got to pull aside and see if he can get something fixed here.
Bridger Olson
saying,
go ahead.
I was saying he's that driver of the 60, Eric Paulson, saying he doesn't see anything wrong on his end. So kind of weird. He's blinking elsewhere, but not on his end. But Bridger Olson, yeah, battling for second now with Ty Marasco if he can get to him.
Olson just not able to. Olson started to close that gap just a little bit tighter. But his gain is kind of stalled. Ben Lacey at the line, 60 laps to go in the SJRL 200 at Richmond. Let's go ahead, Dawson, and do a little turn it up.
Let's do it.
The battle for second place has heated up. Olson able to get around Marasco, and that opened up the door for Zach Amon as well. And they both finally, as Amon able to get around that one machine, has passed Marasco.
Yeah, Marasco's starting to fade a little bit here. But just looking back, a lot of other guys, and we got an issue on the backstretch. Jamie Plord gets the inside wall. He lost it off the corner, but he kept it straight, so no caution's going to fall. But the 38's going to pull it to pit road. Maybe not, actually. He's going to stay out.
That was really close to getting into the barrels there. See if we can find what happened.
A little too hard in the corner and spun it out on the backstretch.
So Plord now in 13th. Michael Aminti behind, not for position. Aminti 17 laps down. Plord trying to regather and go after Blaine Sparling. Interesting development here. Zach Amon down pit road.
Brett Bennett has also disappeared. His quality went to the red. I don't know if we'll see that number 47 popping back in here. It'll be close to see. Got some guys coming down pit road. Zach Amon, the first down pit road. Let's see if that pulls some more down here.
Ooh, trouble. Backstretch. Caleb Sheets. Slow. Stopped. He's rolling now. We stay green once again. Spin. Getting on the apron. He's going to be in traffic. Caution is out. That was right in front of Zach Probst as well.
How did he spin that out there? Oh, he gasses it up super hard on the apron and spins it out. I wouldn't say that was intentional, but looking back to see what happened on the backstretch, got loose underneath the 6. Derek Paulson spun into the inside wall. He couldn't correct it. Overcorrects, hits the inside wall. After doing that, he gets out and he gasses it up too hard and spins it out. And for the 2 or 3 of you that might care, Zach Amon was the only one down pit road there that time, but looking back to see, Casey Kerwin is your eNASCAR champion for, like I said, all 2 of you that care, able to hold off Bobby Zielinski. So it's pretty cool.
That's actually incredible. Good for Kerwin.
Zach Amon winds up. Gonna get a wave around. Gonna have to get the wave around here after that, due to losing the lap on pit road. So he will be back on the lead lap, of course, after this, but he is going to lose the benefit of the cycle. As you see, Brett Bennett looks like he has disappeared. Packet loss issues for the 47 will probably be the end of what was a rough night as is. So Brett Bennett no longer with us. So that opens the door for some of these drivers that have had issues. Minty, Locklear, they have a chance to catch back up and take that spot from them. 11 laps the difference between Minty and Bennett. 12 laps the difference between Locklear and Bennett. So there's some spots for those guys. And Canfield could also get that spot over Bennett as well. It would just take a good amount of laps to do it. He has currently scored 24 laps behind that number 47 machine. So that should, and very well could be the last pit stop of the race for these guys. We heard it when talking to the driver of the 7 of Ben Lacey. He's out of tires that time. That was his last set. He said he only had one set left. That's going to be the last set. So if a late caution comes out and somebody else, there's some of these other guys, they have those extra sets, baby. They might be able to sneak in and possibly steal this one away.
That's exactly what we saw at Phoenix as well. That allowed Ben Lacey to get the win. Was just strategy, where Ben Lacey took tires, Zach Amon didn't. Lacey able to get past Amon for the win. We're going to restart. 40 to go if we get the one to green this time by, and I fully expect that we do. So 40 laps.
Will that be the last caution? That's the question. Pace car is in. Lacey Olson now the front row coming to the Geico restart zone. The green flag flies again and again. A great jump for Ben Lacey. Lacey way out ahead of the rest of the field as everybody else going to have to try to sort it out amongst themselves. Looks like Olson's going to hold on to second. But everywhere else, they're fighting for position. Maori and Canfield got a little loose off of two. Spinning down, not wrecking, but sliding down the bottom of the track. They're able to save it. Looking like back in the background, Zach Amon's going to start trying to march through the field here if he can. Speeding up front, Ty Marasco! Ty Marasco is into the outside wall! Our third place runner finds himself spinning it, and it looks like he did it himself, just got it too hard into the corner, and he finds the wall. And just like that, we're under the yellow flag once again.
Man, that is tough for Ty Marasco running up front all race long.
There's only one person I think that's going to be happy with that caution. And that's Ben Lacey. That's more laps that are going to tick away here under the yellow flag. And allow him to just get closer and closer to the win.
While we're under this caution, I just want to give a quick shout out. Friday night, myself and, well, Dawson, you joined me, as well as Adam Kuhn. We did a unexpected show on Friday night, and that put us at JCTV over 200 subscribers. 203, I believe, is what we finished that stream with. So we started off the day, I believe it was 194. So 9 total subscribers gained there. And I can't thank you guys, we can't thank you guys enough for all the support. I've always ended my streams with thinking the fans, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be doing this. So definitely, as we continue to grow, continue to get better, definitely big thank you to every single person that has allowed me to have fun doing what I do, and it's allowed me to commentate with some really cool people like Dawson as well.
Yeah, I joined in a little bit later. I joined in Season 2 for the Independence News Truck Series earlier this year to help cover some races where you weren't going to be available. And that's just blossomed into this full, fun gig we've had here with JCTV and everybody, with you, with Adam. We've brought along Ben Smith along with me. He's tagged along as well and had some races with us. So I've had a blast doing all this, and it's honestly been a very fun. And I'm glad that we've been able to hit this milestone together.
Yeah, and JCTV actually, you get the one to green. I'm not going to go too long with this, but JCTV kind of sort of started off as a joke that really turned into a serious thing, and I'm super glad that it did. I can't shout out Cameron Caldwell enough for everything he's done, including coming up with the name JCTV and all the logo work. The ticker you see on the screen, that was done by him as well. But just big thank you to every single person along the way. But pace car inside 3 and 4, coming back to the green.
Coming off, here comes Ben Lacey with Bridger Olsen to the outside. To the Geico restart zone, the green flag flies. Once again, another great jump. Lacey has been on a roll with these restarts. Just fantastic. This 7 car has been dominant all race long on these restarts to get out front and clear for the race lead. Meanwhile, on the back, Brian D struggling. Zach Probst is now to his outside the 3 wide, heading into turn 3. They're going to sort things out amongst themselves, it looks like. Right now, though, Michael Thorpe battling for the 3rd spot. He's trying to pass that 6 to Derek Paulson.
And Paulson making the outside work for the moment. He's going to be able to clear Thorpe, maintain his 3rd position. A little bit of a connection issue. That opened up the door for Michael Thorpe Jr.
Spinning on the front almost. What a way to miss the field, but it's not going to work. Big wreck at turns 1 and 2. Noah Maori hard into the outside wall. I was just getting ready to say that Zachary Wareham had an amazing save to keep from going back in the field. And then Noah Maori with an evasive action that just did not work out and puts him in the wall. I believe he clipped the 50. Or no, it might have been the one of Ty Marasco. He got somebody there. Indeed, it was the 50, Michael Amenti. A hard hit for him as well as he gets sent to the outside wall. See Maori trying to miss. Cooked it too hot. Man, that a vicious crash. And that 50 car says pow on the back. That's just about what he had happen to him with Maori coming up the track into him. What do you say we get a ride on board with Maori after that incident?
Well, trying to, at least.
You can see when he's on his onboard, you see that 12, he sees him lock up and it's coming up the track, so he goes down low to miss him. He's committed to the bottom to miss, and he sees the 12 sliding back down, and by that time, he's just got nowhere to go. And then he's just losing it, and he's along for the ride, and again, just taking out the 50 of Michael Amenti. Just no chance of missing for that 50 car, as that winds up taking him out as well. So another caution here, which means another restart coming up. We're coming up on 25 laps to go, but this race still not over yet.
Michael Thorpe, he's been getting a little bit more aggressive on the restarts. Thorpe able to get around Paulson just before that caution came out. Ben Lacey, he's been waiting late into the restart zone to get going. A lot of the time that he's been the leader is Thorpe really gathering what Lacey's been able to do on the restarts and try to capitalize on that, I think is the big question that I have right now, but very, very excited to see what this last little bit of the race is going to have. This is caution number 12, and you know, for a league that we don't see a lot of cautions at all, this has definitely been a classic case of short track racing. Just a lot of issues for drivers and a lot of restarts.
And just going back, watching that wreck happen, it was just... I'm shocked, too, to see Noah Maori and Michael, or at least Noah Maori. Noah Maori's still out on the track. Michael Amenti is on pit road still. So kind of shocking to see how Maori, with that hard of an impact, is still racing on only a lap down, I should say. Meanwhile, though, the car that he hit, Michael Amenti, is still on pit road. Could this be the final restart? Could this be the last time Ben Lacey has to hold off the field? Pace car is in. We'll have to see as Bridger Olsen, who's outside to the Geico restart zone. Green flag flies, and again another late jump and another good jump. Ben Lacey back clear for the lead, but Michael Thorpe is going to follow behind into second. Derek Paulson runs wide.
Zachary Wareham.
Oh, got it a little hot. Blaine Sperling almost takes out Caleb Sheets. As they continue to battle for every position they can get, everybody's going to keep fighting for it all. Ben Lacey trying to check out but can't quite do it yet. Michael Thorpe is still there with them.
Zach Amon side by side with Jamie Plord.
Amon got in hot, got the apron, going to wash up the track just a little bit there.
Plord wanted to get to the outside, just wasn't able to. Brian Dees taking advantage. Will be able to clear, maybe not quite.
Slid down the apron, Zach Probst did. He got loose in the front stretch there, was able to save it. Oh, Thorpe might have got the wall there. Now Olsen charging to the outside, side by side for second as the leader. Ben Lacey continues to pull away.
Bridger Olsen making that high line work right now.
This time by, it'll be 19 to go this time by, Josh.
Yeah, 19 laps to go. And the more and more these guys stay side by side.
Ooh, Brian Dees went wide. Dees went wide. He got the wall. There's a car spinning on the backstretch. Jonathan Cadefield, 29 laps down. He's going to spin it out. And another caution. This will stack the field back up. But what I'm wondering here, it's been 26 laps since they pit. Does anybody take a gamble and throw some tires on it here? And it looks like they are, yeah. Bridger Olson fakes it, so does Zach Amon. But you see there, Jamie Plord, Ty Marasco, they got nothing to lose. They're going to try out a little strategy call and see if it'll work.
I don't want to sound like I'm comparing apples to oranges because two different types of cars and two different types of tracks. But yesterday I was doing a race at Homestead in the Xfinity car, and I was one of only a couple of drivers that came down pit road, started behind a bunch of drivers who were on older tires, and I worked my way up through the field, won a stage. This is a short track, won't be in the gas as long as, say, Homestead. We did see Ben Lacey work his way back up through the field. There's going to be probably about 14 laps to go. It'll be very interesting to see Ty Marasco, who won the race off pit road over Jamie Plord. If Marasco and Plord, they're able to work their way up to the front. Currently sitting P11 and P12.
Yeah, I was going to say, Marasco cycling out 11th there after that pit stop. Be interesting to watch to see. He's not going to have a lot of time. Neither will Plord, but they're going to see if they can push with everything they've got. This time by, it'll be 15 laps to go. So still, plenty of time for this race. For more to happen to lead to a possibility of maybe even overtime.
This is caution number 13. And seeing Ty Marasco take a couple cars on track. Those are lap cars. Shane Blocklear, Jonathan Canfield. Ben Lacey, still the race leader. He's been perfect pretty much all race long. Can he continue to stay up there?
We'll have to see. The restart's going to be with 13 laps to go. Lacey's going to choose the inside once again, as he has through the entirety of the race. The lights are off on the pace car. The field is going to go 2 by 2. We're going to have to see, can anybody stick with the 7 on the restart? They haven't been able to all night. Could this be the restart where they do? Olson is going to need a massive restart to do so. I'm looking to see, it looks like Zach Hamon's going to line up third, see if he can't keep up and match with the leader, Ben Lacey. It all comes down to this. 13 laps to go here in Richmond, Virginia. Lacey, Olson, the front row, come to the Geico restart zone. On the gas pedal, Lacey jumping yet again. He gets back out to a good lead.
Olson and Amon battling for P2. Michael Thorpe putting the bumper just a little bit to Amon. Thorpe was there, Amon.
Oh, that's cool. Almost somebody. Now Marasco spun. Marasco around on the front straightaway. And that's going to lead to another caution. This time it involves the two that pit. Marasco and Plord. Marasco got into the back of the 14. Marasco got into the back of the 14 there. He got in a little too hot, trying to make some moves. The 14 was able to save it, and then Marasco on the brakes gets turned by the 38, who had no chance to miss him. So that leads to another caution here in this race. And you just know that Ben Lacey has got to be wondering, what else is he going to have to do to finish this race off.
Drivers trying to fake out pitting once again. No takers.
Yeah, at this point, they've made their beds. They're going to have to lie in them. That's going to be what they're going to do for the rest of this race.
10 laps to go. We will restart with about 7 or 6. See, I believe that is Jacob Locklear taking the wave around for the free pass. So Dawson, who do you have your eye on this restart?
Well, I'd be willing to say Ben Lacey because he's the one leading the field, but if I were to have to pick somebody that's not our race leader, I'm watching Zach Amon. Restarting third. If he can get right up on the back bumper of this 7 and get a good launch with him, I wouldn't be shocked to see him get right there with him and maybe give him a little bump to get him up the track, see if he can't make a move for the lead.
Of course, obviously, my pick to win, Ben Lacey. I still think Ben Lacey is the guy that is going to be the one to win. But, you know, one that I'm watching on this restart is definitely Bridger Olson. Olson, he had an issue early on in this race. Had to work his way back to the front. Olson, somebody that we're used to seeing race up front. He's going to have to time this restart perfect. And I would not count him out at all. Lights on the pace car are off. We are going green. 6 laps to go in the SJRL 200 from Richmond Raceway.
It's going to be a dogfight to see who can get this win. If Lacey gets a good enough restart and there's no more yellows, this will be his race, but at the same time, this is his to lose. He has been the dominant car all race long, and now, once again, Bridger Olson to his outside. The pace car is going to dive down pit road, leading the field to the Geico restart zone. And the green flag flies. A little bit of a later jump again by Lacey, but this time Amon was able to time it just a little better, but still Lacey pulling away. Oh, spinning around Blaine Sperling, and there's the caution again. Another yellow, and this one's going to overtime.
Take a look at that replay. It's like a couple drivers got loose. Blaine Sparling, the only one, of course, that was able to spin it around. No contact with anything or anybody. But we are working caution number 15.
Well, with this being an overtime restart presented by JCTV, Ben Lacey, he's had so many good restarts. He has been perfect all race long. And hopefully, he just needs one more. He's been able to have as many good restarts as possible, but looking at this now, Zach Amon going to be second. Bridger Olsen now third as they've swapped around. So we're going to see Zach Amon going to have to restart the outside this time. But the big one to watch, can Bridger Olsen roll up on the back bumper of race leader Ben Lacey and get a good restart with him?
You know, I have to say, personally, I would rather start in that third position because you have the best view possible of what the leader is going to do. Here they go.
Here we go.
2 by 2.
Going double file. It all comes down to this one. Can Lacey get one final good restart? Will we see another caution? Let's find out. To the Geico restart zone. Lacey with another good jump. Green flag back out in the air. Overtime attempt number 1.
Olsen and Amon battling side by side. Amon clear of Olsen. Now has his sights set on that 7 car.
White flag is going to be out. Amon is right there. He's going to have a chance, a one last fighting chance. You're going to see him send it into 1 and 2. I believe there might be an incident near the backstretch. Yes, wrecking in 1. The 59 and the 14 are around. Meanwhile, up front, battle for the win. Here comes Amon trying to drive it in deep. Can't quite get there. Ben Lacey's going to hold on in a dominant way. Third win of the season here at Richmond.
Zach Amon, P2. Able to hold off Bridger Olsen.
He put up a good fight, just couldn't get there at the end of it.
And Ben Lacey burning it down. Winner of Phoenix, Watkins Glen, and now Richmond.
He continues to burn it down. We'll take a look through the rest of the grid here. Zach Amon brings it home second. Bridger Olson third. Michael Thorpe Jr. fourth. Brian Dees rounds out your top five. Then Derek Paulson, Caleb Sheets, Zach Probst, Jamie Plord, and Ty Marasco. That was your top 10. Zachary Wareham, Noah Maori, and then Christopher Bassinger and Blaine Sparling. That was the lead lap finishers, all the way back to 14th with an issue in the last lap between Sparling and Bassinger, leading to them finishing so far back. Your next car in 15th, Jacob Locklear, recovering from that issue early on to finish it 15th. Michael Amenti brings it home 16th. Jonathan Canfield comes home 17th. Then Brett Bennett, Robert Lukens, DNFing 18th and 19th. And that is how they're going to finish this race here today. But first, what do you say we get a word with our third place finisher? Get down and talk to Bridger Olson.
And trying to find him. There he is. Hey, Bridger, third place finisher tonight. It was a wild one. A lot of cautions, including one that you were involved in. Had to work your way up to the front. So, just how was the car handling out there, and especially with all those yellows we saw?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I was already in the hole from the race started, just because I didn't qualify well. I still had very good pace though. Just when I got involved in the wreck, I still drove up for the field, but I just didn't really have it for the NYC at the end.
Fighting back and forth with Zach Amon on all those restarts. Just seemed like neither one of you were going to give. How important was it on the restarts to maintain a position or gain position?
Yeah, me and Zach were working together at the end because we're teammates. So just kind of trying to coordinate with each other, but Lacey just got a ton of 17, so we can do things.
All right, well, who do you have to thank? Who gets it done behind that O2 machine?
Thank you to Peak Performance Sports, Marshall Newton for the card, Free Speed for the sponsoring, and that's it.
All right, third place finish tonight for Bridger Olson. And we head to Dawson Allen, who has Zach Amon.
Second place run here tonight for Zach Amon, just short of the win. Zach, what more do you think you needed to get the job done and get the win?
I mean, I had a really good car, it felt like, all day. It's just, I feel like when I pitted, I mean, I don't know why my fuel was so much different than everyone else, but I guess I wasn't saving under caution or something, but I guess when I pitted, it just wasn't the right call, because then Bassinger passed me and I was just in a bad spot. But I'm just happy I was able to recover, but one spot short always doesn't feel the best.
Yeah, it was all about getting that right call together to put it all there. But you were right there on the back bumper there, that last restart. Coming through 1 and 2, you were right there with him. You could have made a move. Do you think if rewind it, play it back, you think you might have had something for him if you just change one little detail?
I'm not exactly sure what I did, but I know for sure as soon as I got past Bridger and I had that run, I believe, going down the backstretch, I tried something different in 3 and 4, and I tried shifting to third, which actually kind of helped me, it felt like. But I'm not sure. There just wasn't much room for passing without killing somebody in the bumper, and I didn't really want to do that. I tried though, but I couldn't get to him. But I mean, it was really all about track position. It felt like towards the end of that thing.
Yeah, it was a lot of a battle back and forth. Track position for you. You bounced around through the field, but in the end, you bring it home in the second position. So who do you got to shout out tonight? Who was able to get it done for you to get you where you were and get you up to that second position?
I mean, my teammates really helped me out, just kind of calming me down when I was kind of mad in the back, and just kind of. I know we had split strategies, but it kind of formed together. I want to thank Peak Performance Motorsports, V Speed, and the Nice Designs for everything they do, and Blaine as well for making a great scheme as well, I guess, kind of.
Alrighty, well, Zach, I'm on your second place finisher. Bring it at home. Second place for the team. Congrats, Zach.
Yep, thank you.
That was Zach Amon, your second place finisher.
Down in victory lane, a dominating performance out of Ben Lacey. Ben, it didn't take a spin to win this time around. You absolutely nailed it out there. How'd you get it done?
By not spinning. It wanted to spin. I can tell you that much. Had to be real easy on that throttle all the way up and around. I think that was a key point to this race. Was just being easy out of the corners of the throttles and just kind of nice and easy driving it down, getting the drive out of the corner. And then I don't know, man. I know Bridger and Zach had some good pace there at the end, so they kind of gave me a little bit of a scare. I'm honestly not sure why they didn't come down and pit. With about, I think we had a caution around lap 180. Surprised they didn't come in and take tires, and I think they would have done that. They would have probably blown my doors off. So glad they didn't, but yeah, it was just a fun race, man. Just trying to be consistent, and was able to execute that.
Saw those restarts that we had towards the end of the race, and it just seemed like it was restart after restart. Was there a time when you said, okay, if anybody comes in now, I don't feel like they can catch me?
Yeah, around lap 195. Basically when it hit around that point, I figured if they come in, then I can get a good enough jump. I think where I can hold them off long enough, make them get around on the outside if they have to. But anytime before then, yeah, it was definitely please stay out type of a mentality. So, but yeah, it was tough.
All right, well, who do you have to thank? Who gets it done behind that 7 machine?
Filming the wild, the documentary stuff on wildlife and the kind of behind the scenes footage of things. Check them out on YouTube, youtube.com/filmingthewild. Also GGA, the team for putting up with me and letting me be a part. It's great fun. All my teammates, they're fun to work with and good to talk with. And Slide Job, the admins, Noah, William, Chris, all of them. They do a great job. And then you guys up here in the booth, Josh, and then I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on your other your name there, dude. Dawson. Yeah, dude. I appreciate what you guys do, man. It's probably not an easy thing at all to do. So it's always fun to go watch a good broadcast that you guys put on. So I appreciate y'all.
All right, well, congrats on the win once again. 3rd win of the season for Ben Lacey.
Thanks, guys.
Dawson, it was a dominating performance by Ben Lacey. Just absolutely killed it out there. Hit all of his marks and made no mistakes.
Yeah, that was the key to the victory there. It was all about, just making it work. And, it got kind of on the edge there with that strategy call and those cautions coming out in the middle of the field where he was. It really put him at a risk. And it really, I guess, grand scheme, long term, it wasn't the right call. because all it did really is get him back to the front and then put him right back on cycle with the rest of the field. So it didn't really do much to help him. More so that it just was a more fun way to dominate this race, I would say. You know, he took that gamble going back and getting an extra set of tires earlier on. You know, so it really didn't play the way he wanted it to play out, but in the end, he still got the win.
Let's go ahead and bring up our schedule. And see, next time out, it is Nashville Super Speedway. These drivers will face for 150 laps. November 1st. It's going right back to the bigger tracks.
Yep, going right back to some bigger tracks. And Nashville Super Speedway should be a fun one as well. A very rough track on the tires, and really will play out to be a fun race, I think.
Well, that's about going to do it for us here from Richmond Raceway. If you are fans of JCTV and stick around, we do not have a broadcast tomorrow night as the RPC.com Truck Series is on their bye week. One more race for them. That is next week, Phoenix Raceway, for their championship race. But 2 more shows this week. Friday night, we see the NAOR Cup Series take on their second race of the season, and the BSR and the Pits News Truck Series, as well as they visit Watkins Glen, first road course of the season. So, still plenty of action this week. And like I said, next week, right here on Tuesday night, same place, same time, Slide Jawb Racing League at Nashville. But that wraps it up from us here. Big thank you to Dawson for always joining me in the booth anytime and every time he does. Thank you to all the drivers, fans. Without you guys, wouldn't be able to do this. The admins behind the series for everything they do behind the scenes. Definitely. Once again, thank you to everybody who has ever made this possible for JCTV. But until next time, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you later.